These are the materials we are going to work with for this tutorial. I'm using this floral cotton fabric. I have the chantilly that I want to use to style the cup. I have my lining that match the color of the fabric. You need a zipper, you need your thread, you need a stay for the cup and wording stay. You can use a ready-made cup. I want to create my own cup from scratch. That's the reason I'm using a fusible wording. And you need your pins, you need your pattern making tools, and lastly you need your pattern paper. The first thing you want to do is to mark and rule your top line, which is also your shoulder line. From the top edge of the pattern paper, I came down 1 inches and ruled a line across my mark point. This is where all our vertical measurements will be taken from. Label this line as the top line or the shoulder line. The next thing you want to do, you want to mark your neck width, which is 3 inches, and your shoulder measurement, which is 8 inches. From the 8 inches point, you are going to come down 1 inch and draw a slant line from the neck width to the shoulder point. Now to mark your armhole, you're going to divide your bust measurement by 6 plus 1 inch. And that's what I have here. I'm going to rule a line across this mark point, and this line is either going to be your bust line or chest line. This mark point is going to help us draft the armhole. So I'm going to connect the shoulder point to the new point that I just marked, and this straight line is our armhole line. Midway this new line, you're going to come in 0.625 or half an inch. Yes, you heard me right, 0.625 or half an inch. And on the bust line, you're going to mark quarter of your bust measurement on the bust line. Next, you're going to come in with your pattern master or your freehand to draft the armhole. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the back, but the difference between the back and the front is just that I'm not going to come in 0.625 or half an inch to draft the armhole. Once I get the midline, I'm just going to use my pattern master to draw a curve to meet the shoulder point. The next thing you want to do is to mark your bust points. My bust point from the shoulder line is 11 inches. Now I'm going to divide my nipple to nipple measurement, and I'm going to mark it on these points. Yes, I'm going to mark it on the waist as well. I notice you've not drafted the waist. Now I'm going to measure my waist from the top line. My waist is 18 inches, and for my waistline I'm going to draft my hip line. My hip line is 8 inches from my waistline. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the back as well. After marking out of your nipple measurement on the bust points, waist and hip, you're going to go up 2 inches from the hip line. This is where the dart will stop, and on the waistline you're going to come in and out half inches on both sides of the dart line that passed through the waistline. After you've done that, you're going to draft your darts. That's what you see me doing, drafting my darts. You're going to repeat the same thing for the back. The only difference that the back has for the front is that the dart is starting directly on the bust line. Yes, this helps to tighten the back. I repeat the same thing at the back. Then I'm going to draft my dart line first, and on the waistline I'm going to come in and out of the dart line by half an inch, and from the hip line I'm going to go up 2 inches. That's where the dart will stop. I also went in at the center back by half an inch and draft an half dart. It is now time to apply your measurement. On the waistline I'm going to mark quarter of my waist measurement plus the dart allowance, which is 1 inch. On the hip, I'm going to mark quarter of my hip measurement, and I'm not going to include 1 inch because the dart did not pass through the hip line. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to come in with your pattern master and drop the sizing of your dress. If your pattern paper is not up to the length you want to work with, please add extra paper. And then on the hem line, you're going to mark quarter of your hip measurement, and then you're going to connect this to your hip line. The next thing you want to do from here is to come in from the center front by 1 or 1.5 inch, and that's what you see me doing there. After I marked this 1.5 inch, I went ahead to connect this to the waistline. I started using my free hand before I went in with my pattern master to blend the line perfectly well. When I was sure that this is what I want, I went with my pattern master to blend this line very well to make it more visible. And then don't forget to add your notches so that when you want to join this pattern, it will be very easy. So repeat the same thing for the back as well. Now let's draft the neckline. From the armhole, I came in half an inch because I don't want the dress to sit on my shoulder point. So I'm going to come in half an inch and blend the armhole. And from the half an inch point, I'm going to come in 1.5 inch. Yes. Along the bust points, I'm going to roll a line. This is going to be our neckline. Yes, our neckline. Now the next thing you want to do, you want to start blending all these points. The first point, which is the half an inch, is going into the armhole, so you're going to withdraw your armhole. The second point, which is the half an inch, is going to go into the neckline. Yes, it's going to go into the neckline. And please, if you want to do this, please make sure that you work with a set square. Yes, work with a set square. See the way I place the pattern master, the L part along the neckline. Make sure it is straight along the neckline. Okay, then you're going to do a straight line. Extend this straight line to the line on the bust point. So this is the neckline for the front, and this is what it's going to look like. You see that L shape, the sharp edge, you are going to scoop it in as if you are scooping an ice cream. To eliminate gaping on both sides of the bust point, you're going to come in half an inch on both sides. Then you're going to blend this half an inch into the dart so that the neckline will not gape. Yes, see the way I blend it into the dart. One, and the other side, two. So once you do this for your neckline, the neckline will not gape. So the next thing you want to do, I just want to scope the neckline. I'm using the armhole part of the pattern master to scope that part. Yes, this is how it's going to look. So clean that sharp edge so that you don't misinterpret your pattern. So this is what you're going to have at the end of the day for the neckline of the dress. The next thing you want to do from here is to contour the neckline that is going towards the shoulder. So I just draw a random straight lines. I drew two, and on this straight line I'm going to remove a dart that is not more than 2/8 of an inch on both lines. Yes, I'm going to close this dart and will blend my lines. This will ensure that the dress sits perfectly well on you. So that's the dart we're going to remove. For the back, we're going to remove only one dart. To contour the back, on both sides of the dart point, you are going to come in and out to 1/8 of an inch and blend this point into the dart. Yes, you're going to blend the point into the dart. And at the center back, you're going to come down and up 0.75 to eliminate the back bogging. And this is how I'm going to do it. Let me show you. You're going to come up from the waistline 0.75, and you're going to go down on the waistline 0.75. You can also use 1 inch, but for this tutorial I'm going to use 0.75. Then I'm going to connect this point into the side seam. Yes, like so, as if you are drawing a waist dart. This is what you're going to have. The next thing you want to do from here is to close the dart and paper tape it. Yes, this is not going to change the sizing of your pattern, or it's not going to do anything. All you have to do is to pick the darts, then you place it on each other, then you tape it down. You can also go ahead and retrace your dart if you want, but for me I feel it is optional. And at this point, this is what you're going to have. I don't know that my phone has stopped recording when I was drafting the cup, so let me use my mouth to explain. Now, from the bust point, you measure your bust radius, which is your under bust measurement. From the bust radius on both sides of the dart line, you're going to go in 0.75. Yes, on both sides. Then you're going to connect it back to the bust points. Yes, you connect it back to the bust point. Now, from the bust point, you're going to go down 1.5 inches and connect what you have on the under bust to the 1.5 inches. Drop the cup neckline, then you contour it by 1 inch. Extend your dart line to the new neckline and just come in and out half inch and connect it back to the bust point. On the side seam, you're going to go in your bust radius plus 1 inch to drop the side cup, and that's how to drop the cup. Yes, that's how to drop the cup. The asymmetry details that will be on the side seam of the dress. All I did was extend my lines, my dart line to the hem, and spread it out by 4 inches. Yes, I spread it out by 4 inches. I extend my dart line to the hem and spread it out. The fullness I had was 4 inches. Even on the middle part, the hem is 4 inches, and this is what you're going to have at the end of the day. We are done drafting the pattern, and this is what your patterns should look like at the end of the day. I'm still going to separate the cup. Okay, so this is what your pattern should look like at the end of the day. This is for the front. You can see what we have at the front. I've closed the dart. That's why you have paper tapes on the pattern. So this is what you're going to have at the end of the day. And let me show you what the back is going to look like. This is what the back is going to look like. That's the center back, and this is the side back. Okay, this is what you are going to have at the side, and this is your strap. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give it a thumb up, like and share our video, and please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Have a nice day and bye.